Boy, what day is it today? I shouted that at school the other day, and
Did they get it?
the poor freshman was like, December 18th. I was like, you idiot.
Like
That,
this was asked by an English teacher during the holidays or near the holidays.
I
Like,
even had like a Scroogey hat on.
ah,
I was screaming about goose and geese, and he just didn't get it. That's fine. That's okay. Listen, poor freshman. I'm sorry.
I
I
mean,
apologize for terrifying you.
if we're being honest, the only reason I know that reference is because of the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Well, look, that's still a Christmas Carol. It's still the same story. You know what I mean? So,
Arguably
that
the
still
best.
counts. Honestly, it uses the original text for a lot of Scrooge's lines. Like a lot of what Scrooge says is directly from the book.
And I think the thing I like the most is, aside from maybe one or two scenes, like, because it's the Muppets, so they're going to take an artistic license with it, but like, you know when they're taking that artistic license because it's so overtly Muppet. Like the scene where like Rizzo drops his jelly beans on the other side of the fence, and then like
He
like
goes through the fence
you
to
know
get it.
right, because like that scene was made for Rizzo, and you know that Charles Dickens didn't write that scene.
And Charles Dickens did not talk about jelly beans. Charles Dickens is he's there's some contention about Dickens in literary circles, by the way.
Ooh, dish.
One of the things that many people do learn in high school is that Dickens was paid by the word,
Yes,
right?
I think about that all the time.
Yeah, all of his stuff was serialized, and that's just how they didn't really have novels in Dickens' time. It was a new art form to be like, it's a novel, it's a whole book right here. Everything was serialized. So when you serialize something, you pay by the word. You're like, if you can produce more content for us, we will pay you by the word. So Dickens was like, well, get ready. Here's all the words. And so we made famously large stories. But that's what the people wanted, too. You know? So
Yeah, well, because they weren't being forced to read it in school. It was for fun. Like
yeah.
that. It's like I don't know. Like Tiger King came out, and we all binged it because that was for fun. But
Yeah, if you had to watch Tiger King for work, you'd be like, I don't know, whatever.
or like you're gonna have to write a report on it. You're gonna have to give a presentation on it. You're gonna have to take a test on it.
You have to
But
dress
you're not
up
gonna
like
enjoy
Tiger King for your presentation.
And you're gonna be like, why the heck was this 12 episodes? The whole story could have been told in 30 minutes.
That's right.
And so
And that's why we get mad at Charles Dickens. So there is a sense of like there's people who are like he was paid by the word, so he was extra wordy for no reason. Where I'm of the type of teacher and the type of literary person, which that feels cocky to say, but one of the things I appreciate about someone like F. Scott Fitzgerald is that he picks his words very precisely. And he uses the exact amount of words that you need to get everything. Like when you read Gatsby is a short book. It is 9 chapters. It is like 140 pages. It's short.
is it
But
really?
yeah, people don't remember that because there's
I
so
still read the
much
Spark
there.
Notes.
It was you could have done it. You could have
didn't
read
read
it.
I can't think of a single book I finished that I was assigned to read.
I
high
can't.
school.
There's maybe 2 people I know that ended up becoming engineers that really enjoyed their English classes and didn't just get through them.
I just hate like if somebody tells me, or like if I have to read something for like whether it's work, whether it's school, I just can't enjoy it. Like it's
really?
like I can't get over that grudge of just like, who are you telling me to read this? Like,
How dare
which
you
is-
with your degree and your...
That's funny because like I love reading. I mean,
Uh-huh.
anything from like reading books, reading code, reading the news, and like
You
I
are
read
a pretty
all the
voracious
time.
reader. You always seem to like be reading something
But-
or like know something new. Like every time I see you, you're like, oh, I was just reading this, and I'm like, oh wow.
But yeah, it's something about like being told to read something. Like I need to discover it, I need to become excited about it, and then I'm in. But
right.
if somebody's like, "Here, read this before the next time we hang out. I'm like, ah.
Oh, boo.
But
Oh, wow.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. My parents like raised me with a love of books. I mean, my mom was an English teacher,
Yep.
and my dad figured out that he could pay me to read. I forget our exact system, but like I had one of those fancy watches back in the 90s that also had a stopwatch on it.
Okay.
And so I would turn on the stopwatch every time I would start reading, and there was I don't know how much it was. It was probably like $1 million to a third grader, but
Of course.
yeah, like I would show him that I read for an hour, and he would give me dollars.
Yeah, it was like $3. Then
don't-
you're like, I'm gonna go buy 2 liters of Mountain Dew.
No, man, I had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fanny pack, and I stored all my money in that.
I imagine you still do. I like to think that when you get like your check stubs, you're like, and Donatello's gonna hold on to this one. Because check stubs are totally a
Raphael.
thing still. Keep your paws off it, Raphael.
I'm the only person left at work that doesn't do direct deposit, so that
Yeah, that's right.
I can feed the turtles.
You get excited and you're like, guys, it's Feed the Turtle Day, and everyone always just agrees with you. But they're like, what? What does he keep talking about?
Yeah, like,
weird
everybody does
guy.
that, right?
Oh, really? Got to feed the turtle tonight? People start to think it's like something like gross, and they just don't want to ask. You're gonna get reported to HR if you keep this up, man.
So speaking of feeding the turtles, when you
What's
work
this?
with databases, it's turtles all the way down.
Oh, it is turtles all the way down. Turtles on turtles on turtles. So, yeah, we've been talking about Charles Dickens, and we've been talking about feeding turtles, and we've been talking about paid to read. And that does bring us, in fact, to the reason that we're on a science and technology stream. Migrations overview. So you sent me this article, these docs, about how we're going to do migrations. And this is, for those of you keeping track, our 300th attempt at doing a migration. We always get sidetracked. And I will say, I'm nervous because we haven't run the code yet.
What?
And at the end of our stream last time, which was 30 minutes long, and then we went off and did some work on our own, we had it working. But I'm also very nervous that a gremlin came in and messed everything up while we weren't looking, and now it won't run. So this is my first time clicking run.
That's fair. What was the problem last week? Everything was
Last
broken.
week, it was that we had lost an environment variable.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Visual Studio blew away our environment variable for still an unknown reason, which is not, to me, not knowing why that happened is scarier than the fact that it happened.
I'm not unconvinced. Oh, snap. That's important. The poets page doesn't list the poets anymore. But
Well, there's
also
something we
not
can fix.
important. That's I guarantee is that we're like calling like the old database or something, and it's like, yeah, there's just nothing there. And I bet like we made it nullable, so it's like, yeah, there's nothing there. All right, but yeah,
probably.
like it works. The poems are there. The links work. You know,
Random poem button?
random poem button. Bam. It
Random poem?
works. Oh, Martina Spada.
I
This is
mean,
a good
we
one.
can glance at, let's glance at that poem page real quick, because
Yeah.
you're probably right. It probably is just like referencing our old database schema, and we just didn't.
Yeah, model poems from database where X is verified. Select author distinct.
And where are we getting? Yeah, click into, or you can probably right click on poems from database and just say go to definition. Yeah. So how we initial what?
Why did you hold on?
So
Stop
it went to
this.
the link statement.
Yeah.
Try it again.
That's not good. Yeah. Poets. There we are. All right, let's try that again. And
Oh, this is the code right here. Oh, so we didn't even write the code. We just commented out the old code and said, requires this to work.
I remember what it was. Yes, I was like, this requires async, and Lord, this is a problem I found after our stream. I want to say like 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, and I realized it needed async, but there was like something weird about like using async here for some reason. There was a problem, and we need to fix it. All right.
Although, looking at like line 20, so
Yeah.
I don't understand this get method because that's inserting a poem into the database. But for now, the bug we saw on the page, like line 20, if we put a breakpoint right there, authors db context.poem should have
A
our
list
poems
of our
for
poems.
us. Authors db context. Yeah, I mean that should work, but
Did we create?
let's run the code
We
and see what
said to
happens.
list, but is it actually going to this? Are we like using this poems from database?
Yeah,
List?
poems from
That's, oh, that's
database is
on. That's
what
on. Yeah,
that's what the
that's here.
CSHTML is using.
Okay. All right. All right. So there's the
So it might
breakpoint.
just be the same bug we hit in the index page model where we had to first pull from one database, then pull from the other, or pull from one table in the database. I keep conflating table with database.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you just mouse over poems on line 20, and then I guess expand that out a little bit, we should have the list of all our poems in, yeah, they're in that results view. Yeah. So that looks good. Oh, but the author's null. So let's
It's
just,
pulling. It's pulling from the wrong table.
it's just
pulling
not
from
as,
the.
it's
Go
just
ahead.
not associating the tables. Because we have that, what's it called? Mapping foreign key
Right.
between
Yeah,
tables. It's just missing that. So what did we do in index dot, like in the index page model? Because this feels really similar. Yeah, that var temp, and then we called,
What do we do? Attempt.
so yeah, because what we found was for some reason when we called authors db context dot authors, it hadn't done that relationship mapping yet, and I still don't know why.
Oh, that's right. We had to do this first, so it knows
So-
to look there first.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking like let's just drop that in here, and then as we get smarter with Entity Framework, we'll figure out
As we
why that
learn.
happened. But I would just flip it so like authors db context dot authors dot to list.
Yeah. Yep. All caps, just like that.
And let's see if that works.
Okay.
But I'm just guessing, just because it feels like that last bug we hit,
Yeah.
where everything from the table was there, but from
But it wasn't.
the related table wasn't. Yeah.
Okay. Let's make sure that refreshes. Check out the poets list. There's our break and poems from database. Still null.
Yeah, because this line of code hasn't executed yet, so we haven't initialized poems from database. Yeah,
Author.
there it
new
is.
table. Yep.
I
Wild.
don't get it, but at least we know a workaround.
Right? Oh, this is fun.
Oh, that's different. What is that?
So it's not actually. It's saying it's got something there, but it's not actually listing the author. It says that the author is. No, stop that. Results view. So it's saying the author is your new favorite poem. Not author.
Yeah, jump back to the HTML code because we never tweaked that after updating the database. So we're saying poems. Yeah, So keep going, keep scrolling over. See, we're pulling the author. Author used to be a string on in our poem model.
Yeah.
So so this was getting the strings of authors, and then dot distinct says make sure there's no duplicates. But now author is an object.
Yeah.
So we're getting all of the author objects. And so what we should do, we should just say x.author.name. I'm sorry, keep distinct. And so dot select x goes to x.author.name.
Dot select x goes to author.
Because we want the author's name.
Yep.
We don't care about.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the holdover from our old database where the name of the author was just a column called author.
Yep. And now it's in a different table with more details. Like we got like bios now for the authors.
It's a whole dang thing now. And all the bios are in fact coming soon, which I will not stream because that's just me looking up a bio somebody else wrote, copying and pasting it.
So we know that's good.
There we go.
There we go.
Yep. And it's fixed. And that's the stream.
All right. Happy holidays, everybody.
That's what migration means, right?
It means fix a bug first so you can delay the pain of having to learn database migrations.
Absolutely.
But seriously,
breakpoint.
What we should do is save this or commit this code. So let's check out our GitHub desktop. And if this is the only change, then we should totally commit it because, that was a bug. Looks like it. Looks like
adding var temp and changing that line to .name.
Cool.
Fixed. Poets page. Bug. Bug kept authors from being listed on page. And we're just doing it through the recommended docs architecture branch, right?
Yeah, I got a hunch that we'll just end up merging this to the main branch. Mostly just because it works.
Right.
Although the irony in this is like we re-architected our entire database architecture to try and fix this bug. But we probably didn't have to do that.
Yep.
But it's all good. We did it.
Whatever. Yeah,
and we learned stuff.
All right. So now, when we're looking at the local database, we've got two tables, authors and
Thanks, Allie Bean. You're doing great, too.
Oh, thank you. Oh, man. What up, Allie? Thanks for coming through from Twitter. That's former student right there.
Oh, cool.
From, 2011? 2010?
Allie, what are your thoughts on how PJ teaches Charles Dickens? I'm sorry.
Never
Mr.
taught
Metz.
Dickens. Never taught. Actually,
What?
maybe I did, but I don't want to. Remember, I said I don't like the way he uses it's too much. It's ridiculous. See, I got 3 purple hearts. It means I'm a great teacher.
I mean, she loves the way you teach Charles Dickens.
That's right, which is not. I love the way you avoided Dickens.
Like the Dickens.
Hey, great teacher. Put it on the resume.
That's how you get an A.
That's how you get an A. I will go back and change the grades. Actually, I'm pretty sure Allie was an A student. All right. So now we got to do stuff with
Now we gotta actually do the things.
Okay, so this is now I have to. So Brandon told me before this stream. He said some really good stuff for me to hear as someone trying to get into tech. He was like, a lot of times when I'm reading docs, I'm looking for the thing that's going to help me quick. And he said, PJ, I kind of want you. See you later, Allie. I kind of want you to look through this and see, maybe you're better at what'd you say, untainted eyes?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to have this crazy glare coming in because the sun's still coming up here in California.
Oh,
But
is that where you live?
yeah,
I've literally hung out with you in Cali, so
yeah. Part of the problem, like once you've been doing something for so long, you have a lot of preconceived biases, and something that hurts me when I'm trying to learn something new or work on something new that I haven't touched before is that I will look for how do I say this? I will come into the docs looking for specific words, phrases, code blocks because I have this idea in my mind of this is how it should be done. Even though obviously I've never done this before, but you kind of take some past experiences and you're like, okay, well, I did this once, and that's kind of similar, and you kind of like piecemeal these together, and sometimes that works, but I think there's a word for it, like heuristic scanning, something like that. But yeah, I've read these docs so many times because we've been we've been doing episodes on migrating the database for what feels like just months now. Like every episode, we're gonna finally do it. And then we run into something else. We're like, oh, okay, we can't do this next.
First
we
we
gotta
have
fix
to do
this.
this. It's very much like we're gonna jump the Grand Canyon, but every time you show up, we're like adding a wheel to the car. We're like, oh, maybe next week.
Oh, you wanted 4 wheels?
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
So yeah, every time I read these docs, I feel like I am missing something. Like I feel like these docs assume that I've already hit a double and I'm on second, and I just need to round third to come home.
But you're trying to run across the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, well, I'm still like holding a bat, trying to like get on first base. And I'm like, it feels like you started the game without me. So what I'm hoping is PJ's fresh eyes, fresh perspective, doesn't have all this baggage that I have. That we can lean on PJ to be like, oh yeah, this totally makes sense. I don't understand why you don't get this. It tells us exactly what to do right here. And I'll be like, yeah, nope, you're totally right. And I don't know how I missed that.
I'm very excited to be leaned on for something that my mentor is having trouble wrapping his head around. This is going to be an exciting episode, folks. Tune in as the blind lead the fully capable. All right. This is me warming up my scrolling hands.
I guess you could say I'm blinded by my experience.
Is that what Bruce Springsteen was singing about? And then later, whoever did that cover of Blinded by the Light? That was the more popular version of the song. Wrapped up like a deuce. To the runner in the night. Stay tuned as we sing more The Boss covers. Alright, so data migrations.
Couldn't be more excited.
Data migrations change the data model in some way, and I'm in. I get it. And so one of the things that my brain is thinking is we need to look into actual EF Core tools to make this happen. Okay, so it uses EF Core tools to add a corresponding migration describing the updates necessary to keep the database schema in sync. So right now, our local database is one thing, our Azure database is different, and we need to make sure we've got the tools in here that are going to actually do the migration correctly. EF Core is going to compare the current model against a snapshot of the old model to determine differences and generates migration source files. Files can be tracked in your project source control like any other source file. Once a new migration has been generated, it can be applied to a database in various ways. EF Core records all applied migrations in a special history table, allowing it to know which migrations have been applied and which haven't. I assume a lot of EF Core is doing stuff like, honestly, you just tell it what you want it to do, and then it does some behind-the-scenes stuff. That table must be a behind-the-scenes thing.
That's what I was just wondering, too. Let's pop open that SQLite manager tool we have.
This guy.
And is there like a history table in here? I see we have an authors table, poems table.
Yeah. We've got the keys, triggers, indexes. Stored procedures.
Good question.
Create stored procedure. Apparently, there's nothing there. And functions. Create function. And view. I don't know what any of those are. All right. Well, what about these guys? These are. I don't know what that is.
What does that even say? What's the name of that database?
Sakila. Is someone using my?
I wonder if like.
Or is this like an example?
That's what I was thinking. Maybe when we installed this MySQL Workbench, it might have come with its own example database.
I'm gonna drop that shit, I think. Although, could this be useful for us?
Only if it's using Entity Framework Core.
Are you using Entity Framework Core?
But yeah, I assume that was just like an example database that came with.
That's what I think too.
Some sort of installation, because
we
haven't done anything like that. Unless you've been doing database stuff on the side.
You know, I would never. Not without you. Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and drop that. Right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's
Done.
nothing I recognize.
Done. It's gone. Okay. Sys.
That sounds important.
Yeah. And then world. These actually both feel like examples as well.
I'm hesitant to delete sys because that sounds like maybe something this tool is using. Like,
right,
this tool created its own database for storing stuff. But
yeah.
world looked like another example database. But
yeah.
The point was, there's no tables here that we didn't create.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna encourage you to keep pushing on, but like, you can kind of see where I'm already skeptical. Like, it's like this says that, it creates a whole, it tracks all this stuff, and you can save it as source code, and it's got a whole history table, and I'm like, okay.
Does it?
Well, actually, if you look at the next step, I think that's
EF Core command line tools.
Yeah, maybe that's.
And that's what I'm wondering, because we have an EF Core application, but I don't think we've ever installed the command line tools.
Not that I'm aware of, unless they just like come with Visual Studio or something like that. But
yeah, well, let's see what that is, and let's just keep going. I don't want to get lost because I'll have 14 tabs open before I know what's going on. All right,
installing the tools. So,
Entity Framework Core tools help with design time. They're primarily used to manage migrations and scaffold a DB context. Okay. And entity types by reverse engineering the schema of a database. Either of the following tools can be installed, as both tools expose the same functionality. So we can use the Package Manager console to get the EF Core Package Manager console tools. Thinking that's what we're going to want. So.
Whipsh. Welcome back,
Hey, Witch is back. I love that we get 3 Pikachus from Witch every time they show up.
It's my favorite part of the stream.
Wolfie is also watching, like, being like, I can't believe they're actually going to do it this time. All right, so we need to go to... Where do we go to install stuff?
Package Manager console. To be honest, I rarely use the Package Manager console, but you just found it. You found it faster than I would have.
That's the NuGet. All right, and then what's the command that we're going to type in there? Install package Microsoft Entity Framework tools. Oh, that's pretty easy.
All right, so far so good.
All right. That worked, obviously.
What was red?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Detected package downgrade.
Oh, okay. Yep. That's going to be something we should fix. All right, so let's fix that.
Okay.
So one cool thing is, well, let me back up. I think what just happened is it installed a NuGet package.
Uh-huh.
But if you jump over to GitHub Desktop we can see exactly what it changed because I guess maybe hit save all and then jump over. Oh, nothing changed. So it didn't install a NuGet package. Okay.
Interesting.
So what we need to do. Well, so what happened is it just installed the newest version of those tools, which is 5.0.1.
Yes.
The way these tools work, like anything tightly coupled to .NET, so Entity Framework, ASP.NET, Blazor, Microsoft's dependency injection tools, anything like that, their versioning follows the versioning of .NET.
Okay.
And we started this project before .NET 5 came out, and we've been working in .NET 3.1 or .NET Core 3.1. So why it's yelling at us is because if we look at our NuGet packages for, say, Entity Framework, actually, you could do that right now if you go in the Solution Explorer and go under dependencies.
Let's do that. And then dependencies, frameworks.
Yeah. Packages.
And packages.
So, see how we're using 3.1.7, which is because we haven't updated to .NET 5 yet. And kind of, I haven't brought this up on purpose just because that's could be a whole nother can of worms. Like, we need to get things to stable, and then we can start breaking things again. So, yeah, what we should do is just tell it to install probably version 3.1.7 of those tools.
Okay.
I just don't know the syntax to tell it to do that.
So it's trying to say, hey, and this is.
I also don't know where it installed this. Like, makes me a little nervous because it just installed software. It doesn't look like it installed it in our code base, but it installed a NuGet package somewhere.
It looks like here it says rolling back package changes.
Oh, it failed. Oh, good catch. Okay. So,
hey, fresh eyes!
Nice. So yeah, let's try that same command, but with 3.1.7 at the end and see if that does something. If not, we'll just look at the docs for install package and see. Yeah, just
see what happens.
Not. Show me that again. I was thinking Microsoft Entity Framework Core Tools space 3.1.7.
Space.
Well, not there.
Wait. Wait.
So
where?
So that was the command we were given in the docs.
Yeah.
At the end of this command, just do a space and 3.1.7.
Got it.
That'll probably fail. There's probably like a -- version or something.
How about
Yeah, let's figure out how to do that.
Oops. 6. Hold up. Don't give me 6. Don't give me +7. Here.
Nice.
Guys, I'm a developer.
Button, by the way. So it's -- version.
I am a developer.
Okay, cool. So now if we go to GitHub desktop, do we see changes to our code?
Save. Yep.
Okay, that makes more sense. So what they wanted us to do was to add this NuGet package. Got it. Not sure why they made that way more complicated than it needed to be.
And here it is. Here's the tools.
It should have just said, add this NuGet package to your project that uses Entity Framework Core. Thanks. Got it.
So let me see. You have to install the command line tools, and that took us here. And then it said, hey, you can do this in the PowerShell with this. You can update it, but we can't update it. And then it says, verify that the tools are running by running this command. I mean, we can already see that it's running, right? So now we've got the tools.
You should.
Right?
you should run that command in that package manager console.
Yeah.
And so, do you see that copy button?
Yeah. Is it making you crazy that I'm right-clicking and copying?
Well, because you're highlighting all of it, and there's a chance that you might miss a letter, because I've done that.
That's true. That's true.
So, yeah, try popping that command into that package manager console.
Okay. Are you working hard, computer? What's going on?
Nothing happens.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, something does happen. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that took a second, huh?
Yeah. I wonder if it was doing something with the database. Ooh, there's something called add migration.
It adds a new migration.
But we're not going to get ahead of ourselves.
I'm going to go ahead and do this. Oh, look, you can get DB context. Scaffolds a DB context and entity types. Generates SQL script. Sorry, y'all. Squirrel.
Both work. Some people actually hate SQL. I don't think anybody says squirrel, but I will say there's probably like a 70-30 split on people that only say SQL and people that only say SQL.
All right. Well, look, different strokes for different devs, I guess.
I say SQL because it's faster.
Yeah, it is faster. It's easier.
I got time to spell things out.
SQL. A whole syllable there.
You heard it here
first. All right,
first.
so we've got it. Using the tools, yeah, we're going to go ahead and skip how to use it because they're going to tell us exactly what to do here. They're installed. It says, you're now ready to add your first migration. Instruct EF Core to create a migration named initial create. But we're not in .NET Core CLI. We're in Visual Studio.
Good catch.
So, I copy this. EF Core will create a directory called migrations in your project and generate some files. It's a good idea to inspect exactly what EF Core generated and possibly amend it, but we'll skip over that. Hold on. It's a good idea, but we'll skip over that. Okay.
So here's another question I have is the database we're using right now is the new schema. Mm-hmm. And so I think if we keep going, we'll hit a part that's like, oh, wait a minute. We should have been doing this on the old schema, but I don't want to stop anything because that's, again, like my preconceived bias coming in. But that's
we can always add like a poet or some authors. We can add something to both tables, I guess, or we can create a whole new like test table too, right?
Well, so here's what I just haven't figured out, and hopefully we'll figure this out by the end of the day. Is to create this migration, Entity Framework needs to know what our old database schema looked like, and it needs to know what the new database schema looks like, so that I can do the mapping, right?
Right.
At least that's what I'm assuming needs to happen. So, I think we just keep pushing through with these steps, and eventually we'll figure out what needs to happen. But part of me thinks that we'll have to roll back to some previous code that used the previous database schema. Mm-hmm. Then go through these steps. And then as part of these steps...
Oh, Lord. Jesus.
Update. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But
so it might be that... I need to try and explain this in... I've been doing this for 6 months language. Man,
this is clear.
I mean, you look great. You look holy.
It's very bright today.
In order to do a migration, you have to start the migration before you're ready to add anything new.
I think so.
So you're like, we're gonna do migrations later. So I'm gonna set this up, and here it is, and it looks at the database as it is. It looks at the schema as it is. And then when you go to change something, there's a totally different tool where you add a new migration.
Yeah,
Because this first migration is called initial create.
yeah, that's my thought too. Is like this tool tracks your progress, so like
Yeah.
it assumes you're starting out with the database that you want to have initially, and then as things change in your schema, it'll track that. But I mean, we'll find out. Like, I think for now we just push forward with these steps because we have our starting point. Like, we have our committed code saved in GitHub,
Right.
so we can always just like blow away everything and start over really easily.
I'm super excited.
And
Just so glad to hear you say that.
so yeah, there's nothing we can do to break anything. But this is kind of what I was alluding to earlier was, like the docs are making an assumption here
Yeah.
that we just happen to be in a different place starting out than where they assume
Right.
we should be. But we'll find out.
So where do I go to get to PowerShell? And this is something that I have been totally confused about for months now.
So that package manager console
Yeah.
is running PowerShell.
Okay.
But yeah, I agree. That's confusing because it says PowerShell in like the header of that code block in the docs.
Yeah.
So
Does this just go directly into the code?
I mean, so we're working in that package manager console. I think that's the same thing as if we were in PowerShell in the directory of our code.
Uh-huh.
I think. I don't know. Like I said, I'd never used this. I also never used PowerShell. And I know like IT pros are going to go crazy hearing that I don't use it and I don't recommend it. But yeah, so to answer your question, you might already have PowerShell installed. Like if you just click the Windows button and type in PowerShell, you might see it already installed on your computer. Just type PowerShell. Well, click the...
Nope. How about we look at my battery charging?
Yeah, just click Windows and start typing. How come that doesn't work for you?
My search bar has been a little goofy. Like Cortana. Like normally there's... Oh, there. Hold on.
Oh, that's all sorts of weird.
Yeah, that's not working at all, is it? Did I delete it accidentally? Search, shortcut, Windows. Windows key, Control F, search.
Yeah, PowerShell is basically an app. Or at least back in the day it was. So like the same way you would run the command prompt or open the command prompt, you would open PowerShell. And PowerShell was like basically just the command prompt with some more powerful tools and key bindings. But we'll say don't worry about it right now, because that's another rabbit hole you can spend an hour on trying to get into.
There's too many rabbits.
But
too many rabbits. Try right-clicking the taskbar.
So you can go up to
search. Show the search box.
Well, you should probably try toggling it, like hide it and then
show it. Show it, you cowards. Oh my god. That's very upsetting.
That's okay.
Okay, well.
We don't need to do any of this right now.
No. I mean, don't I need to put that command somewhere?
No. So in that package manager console that you've been using, that's where you're going to enter all these commands.
Really?
And that is already using PowerShell.
That seems so weird. You know?
Yeah. Also kind of why I never used this package manager console. Like, if I was doing this, I would have gone the other route and done it all from the command line.
Well, the
Just
build
'cause-
has been started. I don't know what I did. Wolfie's like, what'd you do? Like, full on, what was that? Black sheep.
Killed Bambi.
What'd you do? Alright, build succeeded. And now we're
Cool.
done. Let's see what the heck it gave us, though. Like, what'd you do? What'd you do, little baby? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Yep, there's a whole folder called migrations.
Okay, so there's our... And what is this? Yeah, so this is mapping out the current schema. So this is also why I think we need to start this with the previous schema.
Yeah.
Because eventually, I think this walkthrough,
Yeah.
and we can flip down a couple lines, although we probably shouldn't, because that's where I always shoot myself in the foot.
You said we're not going to do that. Look, we did it. Let's go back to the docs. It created a directory called migrations. At this point, you can have Entity Framework create your database and create your schema from the migration. You do that with update database.
You can try it.
It says this is ideal for local development, but is less suitable for production environments. See the applying migrations page for more info. So I am going to run update database, and it's gonna be great. You're gonna love it, y'all.
You can,
There it is.
yeah. So let's fix this window. You're gonna have more troubles with this going forward. Just so drag what you have selected right there
Yeah.
down, and see the one at the. Keep going down. No, keep going all the way down.
this
There
one.
you go, and put it in the center. See the center option there?
Yeah.
Put it right there. And now it's pinned as a tab, so you have. See the bottom left above the blue bar that says ready? Way bottom left.
Oh, okay.
So it says package manager
there's a
console,
tab now.
and there's a tab to output.
Okay.
And so, yeah, basically you have a block of windows down at the bottom.
I will say, I hate how small it is.
Yeah, we can just make it bigger by scrolling that up, but it won't
Okay.
keep disappearing anytime you do stuff.
All right, I'm going to click Update Database, and then when my computer explodes, I'll switch the screen to my work computer. Value cannot be null. Parameter database. That's not fun. Your database is null, bruh. All right. It said build succeeded, and then it gave me a bunch of bullcrap afterwards. At MySQL Data Entity Framework Core, MySQL Database Creator. Date time give up.
Wolfie says that's a faulty Windows update.
Really?
So maybe you have another Windows update that fixes the previous Windows update.
Thanks, Windows. All right, and that's because of my search bar, right? That's not for this, is it?
No, for the search bar, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so
none of this is our code. Like if
Right.
you look at the namespaces here, everything is Microsoft
MySQL.
Entity Framework, MySQL.
it also says build succeeded.
Yeah, I assume that means building the code that we wrote. So like,
Okay.
because you can, like you can build code and there's no compiler errors, but then you run it and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, but if you go back to the docs, like this step, like what we're actually doing here,
Back to the
Said
docs.
that-
Back to the docs. This docs. Okay.
yeah. So at this point, you can have EF create your database and create your schema from the migration. We already have a database and we already have a schema. So if I had to guess, that's why we got errors. Like this walkthrough is assuming you've never created the database.
Okay.
And again, something I hate with these docs is they just make all these assumptions. And I don't know about everybody else, but like when I go looking for docs I've already started things. Like rarely am I starting from scratch.
Yeah.
And a lot of Microsoft docs assume you're starting from scratch. Whoa.
You all right?
Ah! Well, I put this up on the window to block the light.
And then it came
And it
for
just
you.
fell. But it sounded like stuff broke, but it looks like everything's okay.
We're alive, folks. We survived the great folder dropping of 2020.
And so, of course, I'm just going to put it back exactly where it was.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't the fault of...
It does look like when the folder fell, it missed my camera.
That's
It also
good.
missed, like, I have some glass picture frames on my desk. So, yeah, why not? Just roll the dice.
Is it just pictures of you from different times in your life?
I mean, kind of. It's,
All right. Folks, we're alive, and you saw it here. That we can survive anything.
Maybe I should just do it like this.
Guys, I am 1 follower away from having 69 followers.
Woo!
And the internet's told me that that's a funny number. So hurry up, tell your friends. Well, tell one friend. One person tell one friend.
That's it. We don't want 70.
And then that's it. Done. Clip that. Alright. Okay. So this is the heck am I looking at here? Oh, that's using the tools,
Oh, we're just in the wrong docs.
environments. Yeah, we're done with that. Alright. Evolving your model. And that's what we're trying to do for production. However, they say that that's for production environments, we need to see the applying migrations.
See, like, now I'm just totally confused because I have so many questions. One of it being I'm pretty sure we've confirmed, like, the docs assumed that
We didn't have a database.
started from scratch. Like,
Yeah.
we wrote the code, we never ran the code, we didn't have a database, but we did. And so I think what, like, reading between the lines is we have to go back and we have to say this add migration initial create command on the previous database schema. So, like, the code that's now running in Azure on our production website,
Yeah.
that needs this add migration initial create.
Is there, this is going to sound stupid, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. Is there a way to just do this, like, directly in Azure? Not manually creating things like I mean, like, run EF core. I don't think this question makes sense. Never mind.
You have maybe because there was that was that there's we were using PHP myadmin in Azure to access everything. If that tool had some sort of command line interface, then maybe. So, like, yeah, if you go to Azure right now and see how we were accessing that database before. Let's see if it gives us any access to the command line. Because then, yes.
Oh, Lord. I forgot. Need to spin it up.
Oh, yeah. Wow. It's been a while since we've done this. We haven't touched Azure in a while.
Yeah, or we have tried to in the past, and it has been
struggling
something
locally.
like we've been nothing we could do with it. We were like, we're just waiting. Azure, don't worry, we'll be there soon. All right, and then retry that, and now it's up. Okay. Like there's SQL that we can run. There's plugins.
Yeah.
Smashing.
Oh, look. This also has a table called sys.
Interesting. Good thing we didn't delete that, huh? Not like you wanted to. System config columns. Oh, interesting.
Settings variables.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wild. All right. And that's my database is local DB, which we called it local DB, even though it's not local. So SQL status, user counts, export, import, settings, replication. My only thought is that there's a plugin, but I don't think this means anything.
I have no idea what that means. Jump back to the Azure portal in the other tab. What else do we have here? So something else I'm wondering. So okay, there's a console there.
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Hold up.
And it on the other page on the MySQL in-app, it gave us the directory to the database.
Oh, on the other blade that we were on? Like this?
Yeah, like it told us that. So like the MySQL storage is in that directory.
Okay.
But like, so another question I have is everything we're doing right now requires source code.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's literally building our source code. So like, do these commands work? I don't know. I mean, we could try them out.
Should we try like a simple command that does something different?
Yeah, let's go to the console and let's start back at the docs where it said like, here's the steps to run in, .NET Core CLI. Mm-hmm. But actually, yeah, type in .NET space EF, just the first part of that command, and let's see if anything pops up. Because that'll at least tell us if the Entity Framework tools are installed. So otherwise, it'll say something like unknown command.
It'll be like, you dummy. Zoom in a little bit. Ooh, you sure are working hard, aren't you? Remember last week when my computer was working so hard?
Yeah, did you ever figure that out?
I think it was the low battery. Because I got a full battery right now and it's fine. Because also when I was talking to Chloe for the stream we did Thursday night where we worked on my resume. By worked on my resume, I mean for an hour and a half, we talked about funny things. And then for the last 30 minutes, we decided to put my resume on a coffee mug.
Success.
Wolfie 2 Electric Boogaloo came through. got me to the funny number. Epic bruh moment.
That's amazing.
We did it. Tell the internet it's been won. Thanks, Wolfie. Is this illegal? It's merch time. That's right. I'm going to put the number of followers on a coffee mug. Golly, what is happening here, Azure command line? It's a sandbox environment. Any commands that require elevated privileges will not work, and I don't know what that means.
Like if you need to be the root user or admin.
I'm the root user. I'm the king of Azure.
Yeah, what's it doing right now?
I really don't know what it's doing, right? Is there a way to stop it?
You can try Control C.
Control C stopped it.
Okay. You could also just say .NET and see if anything shows up. Like we're running .NET on this server, so it's just nothing working now.
I can't type. Don't worry about it.
Oh no.
All right. There we go. Just type .NET.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
cool. So .NET's installed.
Okay.
Okay, so let's jump back to the docs that said like that install the tools. So up one section where it says you'll have to install these
well, we
command line
have to
tools.
do it on CLI.
Yeah.
.NET
There you
tool
go.
install global .NET EF. And I'll do what she said. I'm learning. .NET tool install -- global .NET .NET -EF is probably what we should have done earlier.
Well,
That's right.
this will install it. We were checking earlier to see if it was installed.
Ba-ba-da-ba. Is not currently on the path environment variable. You can add the directory to the path by running the following command.
It says it was successfully installed though.
I mean, that works. Done. Okay,
Sure.
so we've got the tools. Now,
And create your first migration.
sorry, I keep highlighting it. I do the first step. I don't want everyone on the internet to think I'm an idiot, and I have to highlight this to make the copy button work. I need everyone to know that I'm actually smart and capable. The whole point of doing these streams is to show people that I'm smart and capable. Oh! .NET EF does exist, a global tool, but .NET prefix executable cannot be found on the path.
Maybe copy that setx path command that's it recommended above.
This? Everything
Yeah.
within the quotes, right?
No, copy all of it. So
the
setx
whole
path, yeah, because setx path is the command to create that environment variable.
Oh, guess what? You can't do in.
You might just have to right click and say copy.
Right clicking here does nothing.
Well, highlight it.
Right. As soon as I highlight, the highlight disappears.
Oh, I see. I thought you were hitting something on the keyboard like Control C.
No, I'm no fool.
Or just write it out manually.
This is
No
the fun
typos,
part, guys.
no pressure.
No typos. No, I don't make typos ever. Oh god, I made a typo. D : /local / user profile / .net / tools that. All right. Now we've added the directory to the path. I run this, then I should be able to run the migration, right?
That's kind of what we're hoping.
Oh snap! That's not allowed either.
Well,
This is a
you
happy
capitalized X in setx.
Did I? Sure did.
You should be able
Don't
just to
worry,
hit the up
guys.
arrow.
I'm a professional. What?
You should be able just to hit the up arrow.
Oh snap!
And then you can just use the arrows to go
Bro,
left
that's
and
a
right.
very, very useful little thing you just taught me there.
Okay.
All right, where's
Warning.
my other?
Warning error. Access to the registry path was denied. Let's see what happens. Let's try that .NET EF migrations command again. And you can arrow up to get back to that too.
It just makes me think that this command line is not like, I don't know. It makes me feel like there's like I can't do it with this.
Yeah.
Try
Yeah.
it with, he says why? Well, he says try it without the X. Also, I got made fun of for calling it a / when it is apparently not.
Yeah, I get those confused all the time. That's why I just always say /.
Whack. It's a whack. Oh god, that got even worse.
Got even worse.
We broke more. So Core Bob says, if I recall correctly, set X sets the environment variable, while set will just set the variable for the current session. So we wanted path to equal that, I suppose, is what we're trying to do.
I'm thinking we start Googling how to do like Google like Entity Framework Core migration Azure database. Let's see if let's see if there's something more specific. So we can click into that. The only thing here is we are not in SQL Azure because that was something we would have had to pay for.
Yeah,
So we're using the MySQL in-app, but maybe this will at least help reveal some secrets to us.
Adding something to the startup file sets the DB context. Is that something we've already done though? Yeah, services.
We never. So we did the first part, that services add DB context, but we didn't do database.migrate.
Mm-hmm.
But not ready to change anything yet. Let's keep going to see
All right.
what the rest of this talks about.
Post build. It's a separate project for a database. So we've installed tools. I think we have the SQL Server installed. I'm also going to try what Core Bob said, adding an equals sign.
So yeah, the difference here is we're not using Entity Framework Core.SQL Server. We're using Entity Framework Core.MySQL. But yeah, we do have those installed.
Yeah. This feels like a constant migration thing where like all you have to like when you change something, you just run the migration again. It's like a part of it. The way I'm understanding it, which may be wrong, is that when you publish, one of the things that's on there is like just a migration thing. It just checks if anything's changed and then it changes it.
Right. Yep. I think that's exactly what happens. So yeah, what this that code block that's at the top of your screen right there.
Yeah, this stuff. Okay.
So what that's doing, he's cheating a little bit, but I kind of like it. So what this does, it tells Visual Studio that anytime you build your code, to run this command after each build. So instead of you manually pulling up the command line, excuse me,
Gotta come.
I know, man. I was working in the attic last weekend.
No.
Because I ran an Ethernet cable through the walls, and
you just get ready for all the LAN parties you're gonna have once we have the vaccine.
I will say, so we pay for a gigabit fiber, which is amazing. So we get a gig up and a gig down, and we bought this house that has a property that has two houses on it. So we're living in one, and then we're doing some work on the other house to eventually rent it out. But right now we just have some friends staying in it, and then they're gonna they're paying for all the utilities and helping with like yard work and stuff. They're awesome. But we gave them the friends and family discount, so they're not like actually renting it. But anyways, wanted to get them some solid Wi-Fi. But the problem is where the fiber comes into the house is where we are right now, which is at one corner of the property, and where they're staying is the opposite corner of the property. And normally you could be like, oh, well, let's just set up a Wi-Fi mesh network, but there's too much space. There's yard between the two houses. So yeah, I bought a 100-meter Ethernet cable, ran it, quasi buried it in the yard, and but to do that, I was up in the attic and inhaled a lot of insulation because I wasn't wearing my N95 mask while I was up there.
Oh man, come on!
So I still got this lingering cough, which hopefully doesn't turn to cancer.
Yeah, I mean it's one time in the attic. As far as I understand,
What are those commercials? Mesothelioma?
Mesothelioma.
Mes- Why can't I
So,
say
Korbob
mesothelioma?
told me we might read an equals after the path, and I did it. And now, look, it doesn't say success or anything, but it didn't give me an error.
Oh. So now try doing that. What was that command? Yeah.
.NET EF migrations and initial create. Ah, no, it still didn't work.
I think we successfully set the path variable, though.
Yeah, so path is correct now, which is cool. It's pointing to the tools, but that means there's a different reason for this.
Yeah. So Korbob's correct, but we're still stuck.
Korbob, thank you.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So this command right here says every time we build the project, basically run that command automatically for us, which is kind of cool. I don't want to jump to do it just yet before we finish reading the blog post,
Yeah.
because I'm making some assumptions on what I think is going on here. But let's see. So create a script that has already been configured to run. Yeah, we don't really have a DevOps pipeline set up.
I mean, I think, isn't DevOps free as well, technically, or no?
Oh yeah, you can totally create a free Azure DevOps pipeline.
But we don't want to spend the rest of this setting up DevOps. I did it, actually. I went to a meetup, an online meetup, maybe a month and a half ago. And
Oh yeah?
yeah, it was like getting started with .NET, and I was like, well, let's just go, because like I don't have .NET skills really. And he just walked us through using DevOps and setting everything up to sort of like set up our pipeline. And it was kind of confusing, and I'm still confused about it. But it was a pretty cool little meetup. It was like it was like the guy leading it and like 3 other guys.
Oh cool.
And it was so it was small, but like he like would let us share our screen and like walk us through what to do. So I've used DevOps once. If you asked me to do it again, I wouldn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, basically what it is it's you set up these pipelines so that so like for example, right now you and I are on different computers. Mm-hmm. We can both clone the same repo. We could be working on the same code base, but like we just saw with setting up like these path environment variables, your computer's configuration might be, and definitely is, different than my computer's configuration.
Exactly.
And so there might be a time where like the code works fine on my machine, but it's because of some software I installed 2 years ago, totally forgot about.
Yep.
So I commit the code, you clone that same code from GitHub, and then it just doesn't work. So the nice thing with these Azure DevOps pipelines is you set up this computer in the cloud that doesn't have any other cruft on it, and you can configure it to build your code every time you commit code. So had we had this set up and I committed my code, I would have saw the pipeline failed.
Yeah.
And it's failing because that was the same failure that you were getting, but it's because I had this weird configuration on my machine. So it basically helps ensure like better code quality.
Yeah.
You can also have it like, if you have like a test suite, you can have it automatically run tests. And if all the tests pass, you can have it automatically published to Azure. All sorts of great stuff. But
all very useful stuff for people working in a team. Or a guy building a website about poetry on his own, you don't really need DevOps or a pipeline, I guess. Actually, I can think of reasons that I might, but right now,
and you should. I mean, like
part of the process.
Even on open source projects where I'm the core maintainer, like when people contribute, it still ends up being super helpful. Yeah. But I just kind of had an idea. So I think I see a couple paths going forward. One path is what we just did locally was essentially introduce migrations. So like we have, I think we need to add one more line of code to our app. Like we need to add that enable migrations or whatever that was.
God, from the original docs?
Nah, it was in a blog post, but I remember it enough. Like I think I can get us there. But just to finish that thought, so we we can say from this point going forward, we're using database migrations
Yeah.
and kind of do what we did last time in Azure, which was just to manually create the new table ourselves because we know what the table needs to look like. But we've kind of drawn this line in the sand is like going forward, like we are now tracking everything in Entity Framework, or Entity Framework Core is now tracking everything. Everything will be migrated automatically for us in the future.
Yeah.
Because the other path is we pull down that code that's in production. So like we go to GitHub, we find the release that's in production,
Yeah.
pull that down. We initialize database migrations there. And then like all those new files, like in GitHub Desktop,
Oh yeah.
all those new files that were automatically created, we kind of just bring those to this code and kind of hope it works and hope it like finds everything. It could probably work. But those are kind of the two paths I see. So like we like revert back locally to where the website is today.
Yeah.
Start over with like add the migrations, publish that to Azure, and then flip over to where we are now, but bring all that, I don't know what you want to call it, migration metadata with us.
Yeah.
It's that second part that concerns me. I don't know. Well, just because I've never done that before.
Well,
I don't know if
this
if
is
that's code you
this,
copy paste.
This seems so frustrating. The idea of doing a migration, like you said earlier, the docs are like, you haven't even created your database yet, and it's like, well, yeah, we have. And so it seems so weird that to do a migration, you have to like, instead of like that initial create is really just taking a picture of where you are right now.
Yeah.
But where we are right now is we already did it locally.
We're already in the future.
Yeah, we're trying to migrate our database to production. Right? Like that's the migration path. Is to get the local database to be the one that's in production as well.
Right. So
But there's a whole ass table missing. Like, what are you doing?
Let's take a look at pull up GitHub Desktop again, and let's see what, because it added a bunch of files.
And click save. All right.
So we have this migrations folder it created with. Like this is all auto-generated metadata.
Yeah.
And so like I see create tables authors. Dang. See, like, so here's something I do know. The way these migrations work, you see how the name of this method is called up? Like if you scroll up, you'll see the method name right there.
Yeah. So protect override void up.
Yeah. So what I learned when I was studying up on migrations is it almost creates a path. And so like every time you create a migration, you'll get this method called up, which is how you move forward to get to where we are right now. And then it'll also create a method called down, and that's how you go a step back. So if you ever want to like roll back that migration.
So it gives us these two. These two methods. Got it.
Yeah, and so what it's assuming here is, again, like we just started from nothing. But all this code right here, like this is just the code. Like if we were SQL database admins and wanted to do everything by hand, this is what we would have had to type into SQL essentially.
Sure.
So, I mean, the good news is like everything looks like it captured everything.
Yeah, it got
like
both
you can
tables. You can see
Yeah.
the columns. You can see the primary key. It's directly going to ID is the primary key, and then the foreign key, it's directly going to author. Like it's all there.
Yeah, it's just the only thing that sucks is that down assumes we started from nothing. So like the step 0 was no database, and it just kind of sucks that like our database in production didn't start from nothing.
Down. You want to drop everything, right? No, bud. I want to go back to what it was before.
So that's kind of what I was thinking is it's almost like we just blow up production.
Yeah.
And publish this. I think we'll lose an author. I think we added one author to production.
Yeah, there's an author that we stuck in there when we were manually messing around, but like it's an author that we don't actually have anything for. I think we've. Oh, come on, retry.
The website went to sleep, or the server went to sleep. PJ went to sleep. There he is.
I was too quick with the refresh button, my friend.
I saw it happening.
Too quick.
Oh man.
I'm gonna clip that. That's one to remember. All right. Sorry, folks. You were
That means
just
you're gonna see
stuck
what I
with
said
Brandon.
about you.
Oh, that's right. I will. This idiot. All right, columns.
Story of my life.
Author. No, show me the author.
Just do a select all on poems.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh wait, hold on. There we go.
It does it for
and
you.
it was someone who wasn't verified. Darius Atefet Peckham. Yeah, we had pulled a random poem online just to see if we could do it to add poem, but we never verified him.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, he is verified. Never mind. You're right. We went through and we manually verified him.
Hit scroll up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Was there an unverified?
No. Diane Seuss is in here
okay.
too, but she is verified.
So,
But yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking if we want to keep these authors and these poems so that we can highlight them on the website, then we can add these to our seed data. And then when we kind of go nuclear here, we just blow up the website and almost essentially republish it.
Yeah.
Then they'll still be there because they were in the poem constants right there. So, but yeah, man. Before we do anything, what do you think? Let's just kind of get to yes that everything makes sense, that we're not making any assumptions. So
Right.
we essentially turned on migrations. There's still that one line of code we need to add, but we won't forget.
We should add that
There's
very
no way
soon.
we'll forget it. We should
Yeah,
probably just do
sure.
it right now.
Let's just.
That's
do that
more
right now
important than the
before
seed data.
Yeah. Okay. That's in.
In startup. And then where do we add DB context in here? There it is.
Yeah. Services add DB context.
So
And-
what they did was they said services dot on the next line, services dot, I think it's get required service. Let's see if that services dot try just get. So we
Get
added
enumerator.
that's not what I'm looking for. Try typing it out, get required service, and let's see if we can use IntelliSense. Maybe it'll say like, are you missing a namespace?
Introduce
Let's
local.
see. No, turn it into a method. Add an open close parenthesis. Let's see if maybe that'll help us track down this namespace.
Say that one more time.
Add an open and close parentheses at the end.
Oh, get required.
And let's see if do we get a light bulb?
No, still just telling introduce a local.
So all right, let's go. Just do services dot. There's something I just don't remember.
Just
services dot, not get required services. Yeah, I just need to see the IntelliSense for services. So, just one services. I need to see the IntelliSense for services. So delete the second services.
You're killing me. I'm killing you, really. All right.
So pull up the IntelliSense.
Dot.
There we go. So now we can see how we can get something. So there's add. We're not adding anything. We're trying to retrieve. Okay, just configure. Configure options contains. I'm just gonna look it up. Let's see. Service provider. So services dot add
to list to look up the string union where zip add any distinct. Yeah, this is all stuff that's like from other namespaces.
Yeah, get required service. Let me. One sec. I'm looking at code on my screen. iService provider. Oh, that's iService collection.
Folks. We're learning.
Okay, so this is the services collection, not the service provider.
My screen is not bright enough.
Let's see where. Where can we do this in the code? Jump to our database code. So that database folder. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, what's in DB initializer? Authors DB ensure created. Okay, this is where we're seeding the data. Contacts.database. Yeah, so we could probably just add it here. So we could say authors DB context.database. I think it's migrate. And
but spell it.
Yeah, capital D.
Migrate.
So yeah, it's a method, so open close parentheses. And let's do it outside of the if block. So that, because the if block is just for seeding the data, but still inside the method.
Yep.
You can just do option up. You'll shift the line up.
Option. I'm on a PC.
Alt. Boop. Cool. So my understanding is that if anything's like if there's a migration available, that this will just automatically do it. But yeah, that was the one line of code from that blog post that we didn't have.
Where the heck were we before? Startup. Okay.
You know what I see now, though?
What's that?
We only added the authors DB context.
In the DB initializer?
Wait. Go to the authors DB context file. And okay, that contains authors and poems. Okay.
Yeah.
I just had a thought right there. I was like, wait, do we not have a poems DB context? But
a momentary worry.
It's all in there. Okay. Yeah, so that should totally work. Then yeah, we can go back and fix the seed data. So but yeah, so what we're thinking is we will essentially blow away the production website and publish this code to Azure as if nothing had been there before.
And it
then,
should.
the nice thing is we now have migration set up.
Uh-huh.
So the next time we want to modify something in our tables, it should just work.
It should just do it because we have migrations available, and now we're like, hey, do a migration. So is this a bunch of like pecking away at my keyboard that I have in front of me to get those two authors here?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and again, that's only if you want to save them.
I mean,
But
they're good. Those are good poems, like honestly.
yeah,
Should I put them at the bottom or the top, or does it matter?
I
At the
don't
bottom.
think it matters.
Okay.
Bum, bum,
Now
bum,
let's.
bum, 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 bum,
Oh
bum.
yeah. So like, there's a couple like artists that I listen to that have like been like, you're allowed to use our music on your streams, and I was so stoked about it. Like when I was doing
Oh,
it
really?
alone, it was like the Midnight has allowed it, who's one of my favorite bands. There's a DJ from Seoul I like called Night Tempo, and he was like, you can use all of my music on your streams for free, and like it's rad.
Yeah.
But like when we're doing it the way that you and I do it, I don't know how to add music. You know what I mean? When I do it with like OBS Studio, I just have the
Oh.
input capture it, and then I adjust the level so you can still hear me over the
Yeah.
Midnight's crazy 80s
I
saxophone
know.
solos.
You can say share screen, and you can say
You say pick
like,
audio.
yeah, you can like share a tab in Edge or Chrome,
Yeah.
and then you can say include audio. So you could probably like pump it through a YouTube video that's streaming in the browser.
And then we have to worry about the audio input coming through StreamYard. That's fun.
What could possibly go wrong?
Listen, I already logged myself off accidentally.
That's true.
All right, let's get a picture of Diane Seuss.
Oh man, I'm starting to feel optimistic again, and that's dangerous.
It is dangerous, bud. It's very dangerous. This is such a cool picture. Holy smokes. Heck yeah. Taking that. Copy image link, baby. And that's going to go here in the URI. And picture alt text, picture of the poet Diane Seuss. She is outside in a red and orange poncho with a matching hat. Uh-huh. Alright, poems, new poem, list poem. We've only got one new poem from her. It's going to be verified, and that poem is called... Gotta find it. Parties among strangers, punks, leather caps, and... Oh, I need that whole thing, actually. Thank you very much. Please give to me. I just did a dumb thing. Alright. Original, like, yeah, show me the whole thing. Ugh.
Can you?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
alright. Good golly gosh, I love it. I'm so good at this, you guys. And there. And the URI for it. Are we having fun? The Adroit Journal. Yep. I think I submitted something to the Adroit Journal recently, actually.
Oh, really?
I think the Adroit Journal is the one that was having a contest for like there's this, it was like submit your poetry to be named a what the heck was it? I like retweeted it and everything. Oh, the Janukian Scholars in Poetry. And the deadline was Friday. So I submitted like 4 poems I had written to it. It was like $7 to submit because they're like it costs money to pay people to like read these poems and stuff. But I was pretty excited about it, and we'll see. It's some of the better poems I've done that I submitted.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's nice. All right, let's copy all of this so I can do the same thing for. And it's going to be my guy, Darius Atefet Peckham. Thanks, Darius, for letting me do this poetry. Darius, I assume you're watching my stream. Obviously.
Probably.
So, Brandon, do you take like the whole month of December off like everyone else apparently does when it's Christmas time?
So, yeah, a lot of people at Microsoft do take the month of December off. And usually that's just because, you're working on stuff all year. You kind of forget to take your vacation days. And then you get to December and you have like 2 weeks of holiday and 2 weeks of vacation left. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So, yeah, most people just end up taking the month off because they're like, well, see you later. But I do and I don't. Like because of that, I will purposely not schedule anything for December. Like if we're going to finish a project, yeah, we can finish it in December, but I'm not going to start anything new. I'm not going to try and have any kickoff meetings or like design proposals. And because of that, you kind of just have like less meetings in general because there's also just less people around. And so I actually just leverage the time to do some, like, just kind of turn it into some me time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what I'm going to be working on this week is I have an app in the App Store called Punday that I need to push an update to. So I don't know if this is going to be relevant to anybody, but...
This is Twitch. Nothing we do is relevant.
Well, like mobile apps use push notifications, and so my app Punday will send you a push notification when there's a new pun available. And I was using this service called App Center Push that was made by Microsoft, and I kind of made the mistake of taking something that still had the beta tag on it and pushing that to production because couple months after I did that, Microsoft announced like, you know what, never mind. We're not going to go forward with this.
We're done.
And so I have to essentially change all that push notification logic, and which is fine. Like there's a better push notification tool at Microsoft called Azure Notification Hubs. And I'm using that in my other iOS and Android app called Get Trends. So I'm familiar with it, but there's also a team that I recently met at Microsoft that is kind of working on this mobile focused documentation tool set stuff for notification hubs. And they kind of were asking for feedback. So
okay,
I'm being selfish because I'm working on my own app that I publish to the App Store under my name. And I mean, it's a free app. I don't make any money off it, but at the same time, I can take advantage of the fact that I have to update this because App Center Push is no longer a thing. So if my app wants to continue having push notifications, I have to do this anyways. And I can also kind of run through this new recommended flow that Microsoft recommends and give feedback to the team so we can help make a better product. So
cool.
Those are kind of the things I do in December, is like things that I don't need anybody else's help with, things that I can be a little bit more selfish and focus on me.
Yeah.
But it is still working and it's still going to be useful for everybody. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm working, but like, I kind of look at this as like, this is like my fun time.
Yeah, your fun time when you know.
Yeah, like I'm not doing stuff for other people right now. Like if there's something that somebody asked me to get done before the end of December, I would have just said, "Hey, let's set the deadline in January."
Yeah, let's push that back a little.
This is me time.
That's Nunzio's time. Thanks, Wolfie, for the compliment on the hat. It's one of my favorite hats, actually, because it doesn't say Olympics; it says Olympic. and the black ring is non-existent.
What? That's not
Yeah.
even like black stitching?
No, there's no black stitching. It just isn't there. So when you're looking at it, you're like, oh yeah, that's where the black ring goes, and it just feels like it's there. I bought this in a subway station in Busan. It's one of my favorite hats. One of my favoriteest hats of all time.
Most favoritist.
Next time I end up in Korea, I am going to end up with like a million more hats because like it's what I buy when I go there. When I lived there, I bought one stupid hat. And my wife was like, that's it, right? And I laughed. And she laughed. And then she asked the question again. And I came back with dozens of stupid hats. But yeah, I like my hats a lot. All right, I got my... what do you call it when you just have to like type everything out and get it done? You had like a word for it once.
Hand jamming.
Hand jamming. I got my hand jamming. I'm gonna write that. I need a whiteboard behind me. I just go hand.
Just random phrases that we make up on the stream.
Yeah, whack whack and hand jamming.
I don't think we're
right.
we're talking about whack whack.
I was gonna say I feel like those might be
that's a Microsoftism.
Yeah.
They're very different.
Yeah, well, the whack
Completely
whack and the
unrelated.
hand jam are in fact euphemisms as well. So
I was telling PJ, for some reason, and I had never heard this before I started working at Microsoft, but you know, like if I'm telling you to go to a website, I'll say https:// or // we already forgot the slash. https:// and I'll just say //.
yeah.
But when I joined Microsoft, people would say https:// whack whack, and then sometimes they'll just leave off the HTTPS part and they'll just be like, oh yeah, go to whack whack aka.ms/. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Hold on.
Go to whack whack. Like, so apparently, whack is a pseudonym for slash. I also don't know how that saves you any time. Like,
I have no clue. Look, Microsoft's not about saving time, it's about making money, baby. I'd like to point out that we had 69 followers for exactly 36 minutes, and now I have 70. Which
Boom.
is fine. I do like getting followed. It's nice. And maybe even today, depending on like the number of viewers I have, I've had a pretty steady group of like 3 viewers this whole time. If my average stays up and I stream a little more this week, I might hit affiliate this week if I'm good at it. No! Don't unfollow Corbob!
I should follow your stream from my
You
account.
do follow me, I think.
Well, I'm sorry, I do follow you, but I'm not actively watching you.
Oh, that's right.
So you're about to have a 4th person watching you
Oh,
live.
snap. Brilliant.
Oh, and I can see the delay and everything.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. So yeah,
There we
after today, I'll have streamed for 8 hours. That's for sure. And then
Wow.
it says for 7 different days. I have 5 days. If I stream tomorrow, I could hit affiliate tomorrow if I have enough of an average of viewers. Which I do have plans to stream building this sweater later this week.
That's right. We didn't tell anybody about this.
We did not tell it. So there was a Dev the Halls competition on Microsoft. And it was learning your first C#. And I was a liar. I had already learned C#, but I did it anyway. And I entered my name, and I won this crazy sweater. Like, that is
That's
a
so
cat
cool.
on a unicorn with a Microsoft flag.
Well, it's a
they're
fire-breathing unicorn.
Not yeah. Out of its nose comes fire.
It's like a...
I do have to be honest. It is a smidge tight on me. It's an XL. That was the largest size they have. I'm a double XL. I'm a big boy. But they also sent a bunch of tools. And I was worried that I was going to have to like solder some stuff. But Brandon was like, no, you won't have to solder anything. Look, I've got a... I'm going to be able to charge...
The parts I saw.
He said,
Didn't
no,
need to be
PJ,
soldered.
don't worry. But I've got like a chip I'm going to have eventually. There's lights. And I'm going to build this sweater maybe tomorrow. I don't think I have any plans tomorrow. So I just have to build a sweater that lights up tomorrow. And there's some instructions they sent me to follow. I'm pretty excited. But yeah, I don't even know what IoT stands for. Isn't it Internet of Things?
Yep.
So I'm going to be building this sweater tomorrow. Special shout out to.
You doing it on the stream?
I'm going to do it on the stream. Yeah.
What? Cool. What time?
Lord, I don't know. I think in maybe like noon Eastern tomorrow. Do it in the middle of the day. See what happens. Thanks, Windows Defender. I wasn't sharing my screen at that time. Windows Defender was like, "You're all good," and I was like, "Thanks, man." But yeah, that's the hope, is that I'll make a bunch of mistakes and I'll look like, and I'll have music on because it'll be just me. Y'all can come through and watch me build it. But yeah, maybe noon tomorrow I'll be doing that, and then I'll hit affiliate by the end if enough people come through.
Cool.
But then I have to maintain affiliate. That's very different than getting it. So we were working on a website a second ago, weren't we?
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, to do this, we before we right click publish, we first go to that PHP MyAdmin tool in Azure again and drop that local DB database. And I do not see your screen. Oh, there it is. So, yeah, what I'm thinking is that we just drop this database. Mm-hmm. When we publish the code, it'll automatically run. It'll automatically create the database. Migrations are enabled now. So, like, my assumption is going forward, we'll just be able to say migrate. And, like, we can just do it. Because the problem we ran into earlier, just to catch anybody up for who wasn't hanging out with us an hour ago, was we didn't enable database migrations, and we're trying to do a database migration, but the tough part is the production database on the website is in the old state. Our local database is in the new state, and when we were going through the walkthrough to do the EF core migration, it essentially captured the new database schema and assumed nothing exists before. And so what we kind of figured, like, instead of trying to hack around in Azure and figure out how to like run these commands and the Azure console, and also because we hit errors trying to do that, so it didn't really even work for us. Maybe there's a way to do it if people are smarter about command line stuff in PowerShell. Probably.
Who knows,
like,
really? There's
like
really
Corebob.
not an answer. There's not an
Corebob
answer
could probably do it. But
yeah, Corebob expert.
But yeah, why not just pretend like the database didn't exist before, so we can drop it in production. Yep. We just essentially saved all the data from it as part of our seed data. Mm-hmm. So when we'll drop it, we'll publish the code that we have right now locally.
Yep.
And then, since no database exists, Azure will, or Entity Framework Core will just create that schema, and then it'll be true that no database existed before then. The migration's like up to date, and it should just work.
Corebob said, "When in doubt, drop table." And I'm going to take that attitude with me to my first tech job for sure. Like, at every meeting I'm ever in, I'm going to be like, "Have we considered dropping all of our tables?" I don't know. And then I'll just lean back like Michael in Arrested Development when he thinks he said something smart.
And then, like, maybe they'll be like, "Wow, does he know something we don't?"
My God. This would not be the first time in my life that I was mistaken for someone who knew what they were doing. When I tried out for drumline at FDL at Florida. So I was on the drumline in high school, and then when I went to University of Florida, I tried out for the drumline. But no one knew me. All the kids on the drumline, there were like honestly like 5 kids that came from a high school in Gainesville. A lot of them knew each other from competitions. My band wasn't a competition band. But I need to be honest, I was terrible at snare, which is what I was trying out on. I had never held my sticks the way you're supposed to hold your sticks, which there's a difference between traditional grip and match grip. I had played match. If you see a rock drummer, he's playing match. Yeah, so my first year on the drum line was my junior year of high school.
Oh, wow.
Senior year, also my first year on the line, I was drumline captain because the only senior on the line didn't want to be captain. I had been playing drums my whole life because I'm a my dad's a drummer, and I did it for fun. But I decided I actually wanted to do it on the drum line. So anyway, I've never held the stick's traditional grip, which is like when you see a jazz drummer, that's traditional grip, right? So marching band sticks are thick and they're heavier, and this section of your what is that, the ring finger?
Ring finger, yeah.
Yeah, if your ring finger just gets raw from being raw, and you just have to keep doing it, and eventually it calluses over and you don't bleed it.
Tape it out.
Yeah, just like throw some stick tape on it and whatever. So I had only been learning traditional for like 4 months before auditions. I showed up, and auditions for FDL were like 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, playing like there's an hour for lunch, no dinner. You get dinner after practice is done. So it's about 10 hours of playing a day. And my finger was open, like just wide open. There was blood on my stick, and I had to just keep pushing. I was bad. My left hand was awful. I was awful when I showed up. Now, this is all important because when I walked in, I was dressed weird. In high school, I was very much like the Hot Topic, alternative, weird kid, like Invader Zim shirts, bright hair, straps connecting the pants legs, the whole full goth punk kid. I had a pair of K-Swiss shoes that I got for like $10 because, you know, my family couldn't afford a ton of stuff that I had just drawn all over. I had put like ska checkers on them. I had written band lyrics on it. And when I walked in with my big baggy pants with the straps connecting them and my shoes drawn on them, everyone was like, oh snap, that kid is probably the rumored DCI kid that's joining the line this year.
Oh, dang.
DCI
That's a high bar.
It's a very high bar. So they were like,
those are the
there
best
was a rumor
marching
that
band drummers in the world.
Yeah. There was a rumor that someone from like Blue Devils, which is one of the consistently best,
the best of the best.
yeah, that's like top 5 every year. There was a rumor that someone from BD was going to come and try out on the line, but no one knew who it was. And so I walked in, nobody knew me. I was dressed funny. Like there's a DCI kid sort of like stereotype, and I was fitting it somehow. And then if you ask my friend Evan, who was on the line with me, he says, I didn't know who you were. Everyone just assumed you were the DCI kid. And then you got on a snare and removed all doubt that you definitely It was immediately clear you had no idea what you were doing. And I was like, yep, that's about right.
And then you said we should drop the table in our production database.
And I said, guys, have we tried... It's 2003. Have we tried dropping the table? So yeah, that would not be the first time people thought I was smarter than or better than I actually was. I did make the line on cymbals, and I did cymbals for 2 years and bass for 1 year, and I was really good at cymbals actually. Thank you very much.
You do the cymbal rolls?
That's the story. I can do cymbal rolls, no problem. Flip up, flip down. all of the good stuff. We had actually very complicated cymbal parts at UF, like complicated split parts between cymbals. It was good. All right, so I'm dropping this table now.
Well, so yeah, so I was just thinking the order of operations here. Let's first make sure the code still builds. Let's just run it again locally and see that nothing blows up. And I'd also say, once we confirm this, like everything still runs fine, everything. Ooh, what was that? Go back.
Did you see something?
Just at that console. So that looks like a stack trace.
Fail. Error occurred creating the DB.
Oh, EF migration history doesn't exist. So that gets created?
I'm going to run it again and see if we get the same error.
Yeah.
We haven't migrated anything yet.
Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, run it again. Let's see.
That's what I'm thinking.
But it makes sense, though, because remember when we looked at the MySQL GUI, there was no migration table.
Right.
So, I wonder, what if we drop this table locally
Ah, that's like a practice run.
And then we'll see what it does. Like, now that we have the migration tools installed, does
Yeah.
it add that migration history table?
All right, I'm gonna drop the local.
Review.
Review. Now, I've never reviewed the sequel
Get out
in my
of
life,
here.
and I don't plan to start now. Thank you very much.
So this is basically a dry run of what we're going to do in production. And we
Those
still get that
errors again.
error.
Yeah. But
Was there a step we missed in that migration walkthrough?
I don't think so. But
So-
I would like to point out, look, it's nice that this automatically did it. The two new poets are there. That's cool. All right.
So let's first go to the MySQL for the local database, and let's see if it has that migration table. So it doesn't. So like, and pull up GitHub desktop. So these are all the files we've changed. I mean, there's got to be something that like enable like, how is this migration history?
I wonder if it's you have to actually update it.
Do we have to call update database?
Well, I called that once, and it didn't. I don't think it did anything.
Let's do that now again, because we just dropped the table and now we're back. So let's see what.
Build started. Build succeeded. Value cannot be null. We got that last time.
Oh, let's do this. Drop the table now. This. And now say update database. Damn. No, database. See, like, we're just missing something. So for some reason, when we say database.ensure created in our code, so when we say database.ensure created, it's creating the database,
Yeah.
but it's not creating like the migration stuff. Let's scroll down a little bit. Somebody was actually talking about that update. Yeah, that second answer. Add migration, apply the migration. But yeah, the problem is, so this update database is looking for our migration table. We don't have a migration table.
Yeah.
So it's like something's missing. We missed. I would Google like how to create migration table EF core. Like,
I know
That's
this is
the same
that same
docs.
doc, but I'm gonna the EF core creates a directory called migrations and generates some files. At this point, you can have Entity Framework create your database and create your schema from the migration. This can be done by the following, and for that it was update database. Application is ready to run on your new database. You didn't need to write a single line of SQL. Let's make sure that the database contains. It obviously should contain stuff. The parameter is empty, right? That's what it's yelling at us about. The table local DB
right.
doesn't exist.
And like, it's right. Like, we can look here in MySQL and see that that table does not exist. Actually, the whole database doesn't exist.
Hold on. I think we dropped it.
We did.
Oh, because we had dropped it and we tried to do this, but we were getting this problem. Value cannot be null parameter database.
So I wonder, like, if you jump to that authors DB context, yeah. So like, I'm sorry, data DB initializer. That's where that. Yeah, that one right there. So because we call database.ensure created, we call database.migrate. Uh, like, I wonder, is there like database.enable migrations? Like, so let
There's just I see ensure created. I
type
see
type M, and let's see if we can like filter around migrate. Get
get
applied migrations,
migrations.
get pending migrations, migrate. It's so what's bothering me is that database.ensure created. Ooh, maybe there's something. Let's look in the IntelliSense for ensure created. Maybe there's like a parameter we can pass into that.
For ensure created.
Yeah, so like line 14, just
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
delete that
So
open parenthesis and then rewrite it so we can see IntelliSense. Go ahead and tab to complete and do an open parenthesis. Let's see if there's any overloads to this method. There's not, but let's see. Ensure the database for the context exists. If it exists, no actions taken. If it does not exist, the database and all its schema are created.
this API does not use migrations to create the database. Can we have migrations and ensure created at the same time?
I don't know.
In addition, the database that is created cannot be later updated using migrations.
That's a problem.
If you are targeting a relational database and using migrations, you can use the dbcontext.database.migrate method to ensure the database is created. We don't need this anymore.
Oh, so replace it with migrate?
Replace it with migrate.
Okay, yeah, let's try that. Cool.
And then blow this away, right?
Yeah, totally.
Guys, I'm a developer.
And so let's just, in MySQL, we don't have a database still, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So let's see what happens.
Spanish, flee. Holy smokes!
Oh, and there's
The-
what's
and
in
it's-
MySQL?
No
Yeah,
red
no
lines.
errors.
Where are you at?
WDB tables.
Are you ready? Hey! Yeah! Yeah! Hire me!
Cool.
Do it! Y'all.
Okay.
Don't worry, I fixed it! I'm gonna ride this
Amazing.
high for a couple hours.
I think like that was the missing link. That was
That was
literally
it.
the missing link.
It's
And
that we
so-
were using ensure created. You feel like why wouldn't Visual Studio be like, hey, you're kind of doing two things that are conflicting with each other?
Ah.
Look, I'm blaming someone else instead of myself. That's what I'm saying here.
It's always a little bit of both, right? It's always like a little bit of ignorance on my part, and also just like, could that SDK been written better? That API design been better? Totally. But yeah, I think that's it, man. So I think
Ooh, that random poem handler's having a hard time with something right now.
oh, that website doesn't exist anymore.
Maybe.
Do we have to let them know that their website's offline again?
Yeah, it's a totally different website this time, though. Terrence Hayes, Failed Better, Rhymings.com, The Carpenter Ant. Oh, maybe Rhymings.com is down.
Dang.
I mean, that's something easy for me to fix. Yeah, rhymings is dead. Okay, so I just have to change. Probably ghosts are allergic to our uproarious. I'm not going to change it right now. I am going to go into the constants and make a note for Terrence Hayes, though. There's Terrence Hayes. Probably.
This is so cool. We got migrations working.
Yeah, that's great, right? Isn't it awesome? We did it. We delivered on our promise.
Oh my
today.
gosh. It took us like 3 months to figure out
When in
migrations.
doubt, blame the compiler and drop the table.
Oh.
Right,
Core
what
Bob,
am I trying to do?
It hides the link from us. But
He's probably trying to send us rhymings.com.
oh, yeah.
Fix URL for poem. Cool. All right, there we go. Why am I getting a go? Because I'm in. Okay. All right, we did the thing. It worked. I'm running it again because I've had this problem before where it runs the first time and then it doesn't run again because it sees the database and it's like, no, there's nothing there now.
Smart,
and we didn't know why that was happening either. Rad. That one works. That one works. Very, very nice.
Cool, man. I think, yeah, we commit this code. We then
it's commit this code to the branch, drop the table, make sure that works, then
right-click publish.
Then right-click publish, and then do we merge this to the main branch? Probably.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
All right, so commit this to the branch. Migrations working.
Woo! Never thought I'd say that in my life.
The title says it all. All right, and all of this is stuff that we want, right? Like that's the Entity Framework tools.
That's tools, yeah.
It's getting rid of a line.
Cool.
This is the created
auto-generated
stuff. Yep.
Auto-generated.
DB initializer. Getting rid of ensure created, changing it to migrate.
You could delete line 19 on that file. That's just a blank line.
It's just blank space.
Yeah.
Okay. Boop.
Cool.
Okie doke, and
save it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. And poem
Right.
constant should just be the new poets you brought in.
Yep, and that's there's Diane Seuss, there's Darius Adafet Peckham. And yeah. Cool. And I added that little comment to fix the rhymings.
All right, yeah. Let's commit it. Let's push it.
Commit.
Push
origin.
Let's drop that table in production and
Next, we drop a table in production, which is really the best way to do things.
oh man. Oh man.
Looks like we made it. Look how far we've come, my baby. All right, I'm spinning up the website to make sure that it actually works, because it isn't. Don't forget, you guys can also buy me a coffee on my website. You can see people who have left notes about the coffee they've bought me as well, because my wife bought me a coffee once. She said thank you. All right, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ooh. Yeah, no, I mean, I think everything's solid. Like, we just did this.
Just destroy. Man, Azure, you guys are wild.
Yes.
We do.
And now
Get
quickly,
out of here, database.
jump to
Now
Visual
watch
Studio.
this.
No, you have to right-click publish. Now you have to drop it again. Hang on. You got to drop the database.
I do?
Okay, so
I
there's
want
two
to
ways
see
we
it
can
fail.
do. So every time your website runs, it ensures the database is created.
Oh, that's fun.
So maybe we should push the code first. That'll break the website, but then the fix for the website will then be to drop the database. You know what I mean?
No, drop here.
Because no.
Because
So
it
hear me out.
depends on the website running.
Hear me out. Yeah, because somebody on the other side of the world could run your website, and then that database will be recreated. So yeah, we should push the code first, which will literally break the website.
Yes.
But then once we drop the database, the website will automatically start working again. I feel good about this.
I'm glad you do.
Because yeah, what I was forgetting was, oh, did it just fail?
No, I don't think so.
Go back to output, the output tab.
060 skipped.
You big idiot. You have an error called "you big idiot" that you wrote.
Oh! You made me do this. Hold on. Add poet. Add poet. You made me create an error that said if this is in production mode, call him an idiot.
It's in addpoet.cs html.cs.
Yep. If in release mode.
Oh,
error,
we didn't write
you big
code.
idiot.
Oh, we didn't add. Oh, we didn't write the code to insert the poem.
What do you mean?
So that add new poet page is just broken because we never wrote the code after updating the database schema.
Oh God!
Well, look at us. Look at
we
past
saved
us
ourselves
protecting future us.
Okay. So, oh Lord, now we have to figure out how to insert stuff with the new tables, right?
Easy. Yeah. So let's scroll up.
Oh, you were serious. I thought you were like, yeah, not easy. Okay.
Oh, no, this will be easy.
All right.
So let's scroll up to the constructor. What are we injecting? Do we even have a constructor?
We have on post submit.
Scroll down. Is there a constructor for add poet model? Keep scrolling. There it is.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, we have the author's DB context injected in. That's what we need to use. Okay, yeah, this will be pretty easy. So
You
so
big
let's
idiot.
So let's scroll back up to that the method right above the constructor,
Okay.
because that is what executes when you submit a poem. So the difference here is we don't have that poem database anymore. We
Right.
have the author's DB context.
Yeah.
So let's see. The other thing is they are giving us the author, poem, and poem name.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so step one, let's create a new poem, like the poem object, kind of like what's going on here on line 27 where your mouse is or your cursor is.
Okay. Okay,
So-
new poem with author, poem name, poem URI. Right.
So like poem is, so like that's given us an error. So
Yeah.
we must have changed the poem constructor. So it doesn't even have a constructor. It takes 3 arguments.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, we need to create a new author and a new poem, and then we can insert into the database.
Okay. So, is that going to be on 2 separate lines that we're going to do that?
Yeah, I would say like var author equals new author, and then we can pass that author into the poem.
Am I doing that inside this if block somewhere or like outside of it?
So what's going on? We first check to make sure that URL is valid,
Yep.
and so
So the else is what's going to happen all the time, pretty much, hopefully.
yeah,
Okay.
and so yeah, we could do it all inside of the try block.
Okay. So we're going to do var poem.
Make the author first, because I think poem has the author object.
Var author equals, we need author DB context.
No, just new author. So we're just going to create a new author object, because somebody just told us about this amazing new poem.
What is that?
And why are you getting a red squiggle under author?
Yeah. Cannot be declared because the name is used in the
Oh.
enclosing local scope. Oh, that's
We already have that as a string. They give us the author's name. Yeah, just name it something. So instead of doing open close parentheses, let's just do the open curly bracket, and then we can just initialize. So hit enter, close the curly bracket, and then inside those curly brackets, you can start using IntelliSense to populate the object. So if you say like, I think it's control space brings back IntelliSense. There you go. So things like is verified should be false, is deleted should be false.
Yeah.
And for these, it's not a semicolon, it's a comma.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Ah. Bio equals. Wait, hold on. That's what I've had before, but that's not happening here because this is different.
So
Empty
yeah,
string.
this kind of tells me we have some work to do on this add poet page. Once we let's worry about the updating the add poet page next or later, like next stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should probably have the user submit a bio for us. Otherwise, we'll have to manually create bios ourselves.
Manually create bios, yeah.
Yeah. So right now we only have those 3 text blocks. What is it, like author's name, poem?
Yeah.
But we should basically add another text box where it forces them to add the bio, and then we can just pass in the bio here.
Same with a
scope creep. It is scope creep.
Scope creep. All right, and ID.
ID can be blank. The database will automatically do that for us since it's the primary key.
An empty string or
nope,
no.
Don't even touch it.
Name equals also an empty string.
Well, no. So the user gave us that.
Oh.
So if you scroll up, you can see the 3 parameters passed into this method.
And so these are the ones.
So that's the author's name.
Yeah.
That's the poem.
That's the URL and then the poem name.
Yeah.
Okay. So we don't need the URL. We don't need the poem name. We don't need the author's name. Picture alt text.
Well, but so we're creating this object called author.
Yeah.
And so the author's name is going to be equal to the name that the user just gave us. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because this is what we're going to save to the database. So yeah, we're just going to take the name that they gave us.
Hold on. I need to see what it's being passed into. So author.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. Okay. I get it. Poems equals poem.
So
Ooh, hold on.
yeah, don't.
Oh, poem name.
So, but look at what poems is. So the type of poems is a list. So this is where you'll pass in. So this whole add a poem page needs a lot of work. But, one thing we could do is just remove the add poem page for now.
I would do that for now, honestly.
And then we can
come back
update
to
the poem
later.
page and do all this stuff out of a later screen.
Okay, so what do? We just
how is
exclude from project or no?
I don't know. How does ASP.NET know to add this page? So right click on add poet model. I'm sorry, here on line 13. And just say find references. So do we tell ASP.NET to add this somewhere? Nothing there. Let's check startup. Startup.
It adds add razor pages, right?
Okay. So yeah, one thing we can do, we could just tell the code not to compile. So if you select that add poet page, you can go to properties and say, yeah, build action is none. And then it's like the file still exists, all the code's still there, but
Yeah.
the compiler won't try to compile it. And we should do that for the page model too. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to make a note up here. This is not compiling in order to allow us to get the database working. So the next stream, allow us.
Yeah, you're writing that in the startup class though.
I sure am. And I want the add poet. I really want that in the C#, really.
Do you still have the error? Is that error still there?
God, I'm pretty sure it is. Hold on, let me get out of properties.
Okay. So as long as that error's still there, then...
Yeah. We'll keep that error there. That should be fine. And then that's why it's happening.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would say, like, let's just run this code locally to make sure that the website does run, the page is no longer there.
Okay.
And then, yeah. So basically what we'll want to do is redo that whole add poets page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you almost need a couple different options. Like they can select an existing author that we already are highlighting. Oh, okay. That's what we just need to get rid of that button.
Yeah.
So where's that button? Is that in layout?
Is on the layout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Easy.
Cool.
If I were the layout.
It's in a folder. I think it's in that shared folder.
Yep, you're right. Index home poets, add poet. So I'm just gonna comment that out.
Now run it.
Let's now run it. Y'all loving this? Y'all loving this?
Core Bob said everyone loves scope creep.
So scope creep when you are so it's gone now, so they can't even try and access it. Cool.
Fixed it.
Fixed it. All right, now.
Yeah, now we right click publish. That'll break the website. But then once we drop the database in production, it'll all fix. And then we'll have this beautiful migration history that we can leverage for next time.
Thanks, Wolfie.
Who doesn't love a good struggle?
Just watching people like really, really struggle through it. Like when you were giving me fairly clear instructions on what to do, and I was like, "Do I do an empty string?" That was fun. All right, show me broken website.
Okay. It looks like cool.
Good.
Oh, you have development mode in production.
What do you mean?
Okay. Oh, no, it says swapping to development mode. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we expected to happen. So if you go to that PHP my admin and we drop the database here, the next time we load the website, all that should be magically recreated. Just like magic. Magic's not happening.
Come on, magic.
What's going on in PHP my admin now? Did it recreate the table?
Negative.
Probably have to refresh something.
No, it automatically did it before too.
So nothing's there.
Mm-hmm.
Try just go to the website again in incognito,
Ah, sure.
so that we're not just hitting a cache version of it. Oh man, why is that happening?
Oh. We need to update database.
Hmm?
Remember, we were running in the PowerShell here. We were running update database, and we'd done stuff like that, but it wasn't working.
No, because everything we did. So literally, what we did locally, we dropped the table.
Mm-hmm.
We ran the code with database.migrate instead of. It's almost like, yeah, that migration didn't show up. So go to GitHub desktop and let's look at the files for the migration. Go back to the history and we can look at our last commit. It is, let's see, mouse down, there it is. So migration's working.
Uh-huh.
So there's those files right there, that model snapshot.
Uh-huh.
And can you increase that column so I can see the full file name and path? Or
Yeah.
just a little closer, I guess. There it is. So I'm wondering if those files did not get published. So those files exist on your hard drive, but maybe Visual Studio doesn't know about them. And if Visual Studio doesn't know about them, then it can't bundle those files when we publish.
I mean, so yeah, we have.
Oh wait, okay, so there is a migrations folder.
Yeah, it's right here.
So those are the 3 files?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so build action compiler, do not copy.
Yeah, they're all C# compiler.
Why did it work locally and not? Let's look at the logs. Let's look at the Azure logs.
The Azure logs. Okay,
Yeah.
Azure. Here.
And yeah, and let's hit the website log stream.
Website log stream.
Let's turn on the logs. I hate that it does that.
Because the web app is not running. You should be.
Well, that's a whole different problem. Go back to Azure and scroll up. Go to Overview. Should be the first option. And there's a stop button and a start button. So yeah, try saying just restart.
Successfully restarted. It even says status running.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. What? We're supposed to be done.
Yeah. We did it. And then you say we don't did it. I mean, 3 minutes ago, some data went out.
Why did the website just stop running? What can we do?
Harry Potter, Harry Potter. Successfully stopped. Cool.
App service plan quota has been exceeded. Oh.
Oh, snap.
View the quotas. Yeah. What's going on here?
Memory usage quota is getting up there. Why was I using
megs?
Yeah, what is that? Whoa. Whoa.
Okay. So looks like that's why the website stopped running.
Yeah.
It gave us a time when it was going to reset.
Yeah, it said 10 minutes. So
maybe we
I mean, we're going to
hang
call
out
for
10 minutes. So
that's wild.
That that could
190 megs. Why?
I don't know. Switch back to Visual Studio. Cuz let's do an experiment real quick. Cuz we got 10 minutes.
We got time.
Drop the table here again.
Okay.
And let's run the app, cuz like this is basically the state that production's in right now.
Right, yeah.
So if we run this, once you click run, we'll see the memory usage. So see there on the right, there's a little memory usage graph. So it jump back to Visual Studio. So running the website took 110 megabytes of memory. Go back to the website and click refresh. Let's see if the memory usage goes up. 111. Yeah, click refresh again.
It's going up a little bit.
So, but yeah, like 1. Okay, that was one of my thoughts was like, what if multiple people access the website? Is it going to, like, if 8 people access the website, each person's using 100 megs, that could be what causes it, but
free tier, y'all.
I know, right? I mean, one option is just to pay, but I think in 10 minutes when that resets, we can try it again. How do we see those quotas again?
It told me it had stopped because of something, and I was able to click it, and it showed it to me. See, that's fine.
You passed it.
Oh, it wasn't?
There's one called quotas, almost in the middle bottom.
Bang.
Yeah.
Well, we got 7 minutes. How about bathroom break? Because I need a bathroom.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
So wild.
Yeah.
It'd be so nice to know what's eating it.
Or maybe just us playing around with the Azure, that PHP My Admin tool.
Yeah.
Maybe that caused the spike. Like maybe for it to drop the table consumed a lot of memory.
Yeah. I mean, like 890 seems to be a friggin' lot.
Yeah. Like one other option is that could be cumulative. So like,
is it like a
maybe
week?
Every time the website shut itself down and spun back up, it used another 100, and like we just hit refresh.
If spinning it up takes 100, refreshing it would do this, but it also seems like refreshing it shouldn't make it be 100, because when we were refreshing it in Visual Studio, it was only adding like 1. Like spinning it up took 100.
Yeah, no, what I mean is that counter, so the quota counter. It might not be like max memory usage ever. It could be we consumed 800 megs over whatever the time span is. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Y'all want me to pay? Never. That's wild. That's very silly. Y'all, 5 minutes and 46 seconds.
5 minutes.
We're so close.
So what if you go to the PHP My Admin tool right now?
Oh, yeah. So here it is.
Refresh this page, because I have a hunch that this page won't load either. Like literally, like in the browser, click refresh. Yeah.
Yeah, it won't.
Yeah.
Because it requires it to be on.
Yeah, because the app service isn't running.
Oh,
5
let's get him
more
excited.
minutes.
Yeah, I'm thinking about changing it. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Boop.
So close. So close.
I know.
Listen. Get ready. Stop that. Do this. Share audio. Microsoft Edge tab. Do this one. Share it. Change it. Oh, this is a jam. This is a good jam.
1, 2, 3,
Can you
4.
hear it?
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. 1,
Can the
2,
people at
3,
home hear it?
4.
Because it's a jam.
I mean, if I can hear it, I assume they can hear it.
You'd think.
Loudly.
That's right! Gotta get hyped. I bet they can't hear it.
Corbob says can't hear anything.
Wolfie says yes?
Corbob, turn on your volume. It's very loud. You won't be
I've
able to
got
hear
it
anything
turned down.
after this.
I'm trying to
Turn
just
the volume
it
back
a little.
up?
I'm trying to turn it up a little. Okay.
Okay, that's manageable.
Look, this song is 4 minutes and 5 seconds. By the end of the song, I'll have a website again.
Dance break.
So the background anime is Macross, and the artist of the song is Nani Dato, and you can find it on SoundCloud.
Ooh. Hashtag
Song.
not sponsored.
That's right, not sponsored. This, by the way, because I listen to goofy anime music like this, all of this suggested stuff, all bops. Every single one of them.
Nice.
Especially this song. Holy smokes. Oh, that's right. Yeah, but like, you need to hear at the beginning of the song, actually. It is very, very hot fire. It's so good.
I like it already. Kind of got some Steely Dan vibes.
Very Steely Dan, right? Yeah. Tatsuya Yamashita was in the 70s and 80s doing this stuff. And
I thought you say he was in Steely Dan.
he is Steely Dan. His name is John Steely Dan. So this gets sampled a lot in like the vaporwave and future funk community. It's just so good. But like that 80s and 70s Japanese like city pop is the genre.
Cool.
Just all got repurposed by a bunch of modern artists.
That's great.
I think of the 1 million views, I think I'm 100,000 of them. I listen to the song about once a day. Not an exaggeration. I
How are we doing?
am-
How many more minutes?
I am going to see. And quotas. And change app. And quotas. 59 seconds.
Did you start the app back up?
I have not.
So I know we
no.
stopped it. Okay.
Well, we tried to start it, but we couldn't because it said you're not allowed to because of quotas.
It said bad.
It said naughty. Naughty boy. Alright, let me do the whole dang screen. Okay.
How dare you take advantage of our free
Free.
infrastructure?
Yeah, come on. Don't do free. 31 seconds, y'all. We're so close.
There's a
so
refresh
close.
button. Nope.
Oh, there it is.
There. Yeah.
Nice.
It's not in the page. I hate how Azure does that. Because you miss it if you don't know about it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know about it. It's weird to miss something you
Refresh.
don't know.
Refresh.
Come on! Come on! Do it!
2, 1.
Hey!
Look at
Start
those
the app!
plays. All right, so now we can start it.
I think we should go directly to the PHP. Click here to act.
Make sure to browse it to make sure the website's running. And who knows, maybe this will just work.
Right? Like maybe it just needed to do that first.
I mean, it's quite possible we just ran out of memory, and that's why this migration
Yeah.
failed, or this initialization failed.
Trying to find
Although
the
it's-
MySQL again.
It's still loading.
Ooh wee, it's taking a hot minute. I have seen it take a long time though before.
Oh, homepage. Homepage. Boom!
Holy smokes! Holy smokes!
So yeah, we just ran out of memory for some reason.
That's it. There's authors.
There's the
poems,
migrations.
There's the migration history, y'all.
Boom, boom, boom. Release the app in. Yes!
Release the app. I can't believe that did work and we had just run out of memory because I'm only allowed a gig.
And we all learned something new. So
Yeah.
I'm curious, go to your quotas now. How much memory have
Oh,
we used?
yeah.
Like, what? 0. Wait, refresh?
Holy
Ooh.
smokes!
Oh, that's a lot.
No one can visit my website.
Let's hope that all that memory happened because of the migration.
I don't want to pay for a website.
So click refresh again. I'm
Yeah.
gonna load the web page here.
Oh man, I bet that kills it. I bet
No.
that kills it.
Okay, your web page is loaded for me. So click refresh again. 57714. I didn't see anything change.
579. There we go.
Okay.
Good news is it resets every hour. God, I'm refreshing this page like I was refreshing 538 on November 3rd.
Oh man.
All right, yeah, I mean, like, apparently that took a bunch
Half
of
a gig.
memory. Is there a way to see what is making, like, what is doing that? Like, I feel like I should be able to be like, where is that coming from?
Probably. I don't know if you have App Insights turned on. I mean, there's all your
I do.
logging and stuff.
Oh
yeah,
Insights.
look at that. So server requests or response time. It's like we only allow 2 visitors per hour.
Listen, failed request, but that's fine.
It's,
show data for the last hour.
You can see live metrics. I've never really used App Insights.
Yeah.
So your guess is as good as mine in here.
All right, incoming requests, outgoing requests. Last 60 seconds is live. CPU total. Committed memory is at 600 megs or 600 M. and I don't know what that means. Yeah, committed memory, 586 megabytes.
Man, that feels like a lot of memory.
It really does.
Especially when we run it locally and we see it use, what was it, using 100?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this server's doing more than our local because it's got to like it's connected to the internet and it's got to handle routing and stuff.
Sure, there's more going on, but 500 megs is... That's several low-quality MP3s from 1999. That's not the question.
Yeah, it just does feel like a lot.
Oh, hold on. Get out of there. Yeah, what's going on?
Nope. Yeah. FAQ.
Application performance, FAQs. Why is my app slow? High memory consumption. Scale to a higher... So, of course that's your advice.
Pay money.
Bug code, a memory leak? Do I have to start considering how my code uses memory now? But when we run local, it's so low.
Yeah, I mean, like when you were refreshing the page, we only saw like a 1 megabyte increase every time we refreshed it.
Now, am I going to have to like restart the app every time this happens? Or will it just, the call will work?
I don't think so. I think my guess is basically Azure will disable your app service once you hit the quota, and then they'll re-enable it. And if we never clicked stop, then it would just start back up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. That is a ton of memory.
Requests 0 second. Yeah, it's not. I mean, there's nothing happening. That was me messing around with the page.
And a data point we don't have is how much memory we were using before. Like,
right.
I don't know if this was captured anywhere, but if there's a way to like pull the logs and see like how much memory were we using 2 hours ago.
Operations performance failed. Page view trend, slowest pages, performance.
Because what I'm thinking is like this could have been a problem all along.
Yeah.
We just never really hit it. But I don't know, I mean it's working.
Yeah, I mean like that's look, the thing we set out to do today works. And it's the thing we've been putting off for months. Just trying to get ready for it.
I know. All this memory usage is cramping my style. Stealing our fire.
Stealing the thunder. Stealing the thunder. I mean,
cramping the fire.
Cramping my fires. Quit harshing my my vibraphone. That's a cool thing the kids say, right? I mean, yeah, I think I'm fine for right now. Operation times. What do we got? Oh,
you're getting a bunch of GET requests.
That's right.
A lot of people going to your website.
Oh. 38. I don't know what that means.
38 people went to yournewfavoritepoem.com or ynfb.net.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean the request spiked at right now.
Website's going viral.
That's right. Everyone knows about it now. Everyone, look at this poem. Look at what this kid thought was cool.
All right, man. I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling great. We've already got something set up for the next time we meet, which may be next week. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. December 27th.
That's a good date. I like it. It's good. It's real good. What a good
But
shit.
yeah,
Like,
I'd say
this went really well.
let's finish up that Git flow we talked about. So opening that pull request, and now that this code's in production, we need to create a release.
That's
'Cause
right.
that saved our butt before.
We're gonna merge it first, or are we gonna?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you did it on purpose, but you're not sharing your screen anymore.
I said I don't want to show it off. All right. All right.
But yeah,
Looking at
let's-
GitHub, here I am.
So
This is all fine. The add poets because we're not doing anything with that. That's okay.
do we want to okay, I got an idea. Let's not commit this code yet.
Okay.
Because what I'm thinking is let's not bring this code to the main branch. So if we do a pull request now,
Yeah.
that will update main without these changes. And then after we merge the pull request, we can commit this code to this branch. And we can create a release off of this branch. Because what I'm thinking is like, we want to kind of keep the master branch clean.
Right. And right
and
now,
like-
if we,
It's a little messy.
yeah.
So let's do that. Do Control Shift G. That should take us to GitHub. And then click on that compare and pull request. And then let's make this pull request.
Hey, do you know what this is? My first pull request. So, do I need to do anything? Do I just create it? Like,
Well, so like if we were doing this for real,
Yeah.
we would detail everything that this pull request does.
okay.
And the way I go through my pull, or I create my pull request is if you just scroll down a little bit, it'll show you all the code that we've added here.
Okay.
And so you can see, like if you just keep scrolling, it'll show you all the diffs.
Okay.
So like we've updated the database schema,
Oh
we
my
redid the seed data, we re-architected the database.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
And so these are kind of like I what I do, I basically look at this code and then I know what to enter in for the description. So
Okay. Holy smokes, we've done so much. Okay.
yeah, this is a pretty big PR.
Yeah, I'm gonna wing it. So we're gonna go re-architected database. Let's make this pretty. Re-architected the database using using EF core recommended architecture. After that, we also I mean that really covers a lot, really. And enabled database migration.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's the big one. And let's drop that a little bit. Migrations. Yeah, the re-architecture is really the big thing. The re-architecture and the migrations. That covers it all, really.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. All right. So I got that and create pull request.
Yep. And
He wants to
so
merge 6 commits. And go to the commits.
So this is where like if we were working on code together, like I
Yeah.
would come in and review this and I would approve it and like you would assign me as a reviewer, blah blah blah. But
We did get a lot done today, Wolfie. Holy smokes. All right, so we know that this is what we want because we've been doing it together every day since November 8th.
Months in the making.
And do I just say, is there a place where I say yes?
Yeah, so go back to conversation.
Uh-huh.
And then scroll down. And merge. Yep.
All right. And then we make a release, right?
Not yet. Because the code that's in Azure, we have not committed to GitHub yet.
Okay.
So yeah, if you go back to GitHub Desktop now here's all the code we kind of janked out. So let's create a new branch. Yeah. So say new.
This is gonna be like the add poet jankiness.
Yeah, I mean like add poet or update add poet page or something like that. Because that's ultimately what we're going to do.
I'm putting jankiness in there.
So yeah, when you click create a new branch, we just have to tell it to branch off of the recommend. So this right here, say recommended. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then bring my changes. Yep. Cool. And so now we're going to commit this code. So this code, I would just say like removed add poet page.
Hold on. Removed add poet page. Removed page in order to set up for working with new database.
Right. 'Cause it was going to be too much work for us to do today.
That's right. I've already held you for 3 hours on a Sunday. All right.
Almost.
Commit.
Yep. So commit it. We'll publish it. And then now we can go into GitHub and create this release. Because now the code exists in GitHub.
Okay.
So yeah, go to code. And on the right is the releases.
Yep.
And click into that. And now we'll draft a new release. I don't know how you want to version this. Maybe this is version
It feels like
2.2 or
2.2
3.0.
probably,
It's a big re-architecture.
It's a big re-architecture, but it doesn't affect the user at all, really. Because isn't it that if it's something huge that affects the user, that's a whole new version?
That's definitely one reason to increase the major version number. But I've definitely pushed out updates where I changed nothing to the user.
Yeah.
But ripped out Corpop trolling. I changed nothing to the user, but yeah, completely re-architected the app. So like everything was totally different underneath. And yeah, I bumped it up. So first we got to give it a tag version.
Oh, that's right.
That was the first text box. And so same thing, just v33 or 300. But see that branch there?
Yeah.
We don't want to tag off of master. We want to tag off of update poet page jankiest. Yep. Cool. Go back to how you had it before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's easier to have the tag name match the release name.
New database re-architecture. I can't spell. Boop. New database re-architecture and missing add poet.
Yeah, remove the add poet page.
Add poet page.
We took away features in version 3.
Fix. Yeah, we're taking away the features. Version 3. We took it away. You couldn't handle it. New database re-architecture. Missing add poet page for future fix. Removed is the better language. And added to new poets. Cool. Publish it.
Yep.
Woo! Dang-a-lang. As
You want to see
my
something
wife
really
says.
cool?
What's that?
You see that compare button? You can compare what's in this release to what was in a previous release.
Oh.
So like you can compare it against compare it against V1.
Man.
If you scroll down, it'll start showing you all the file. Yeah, there we go. So like
The
You added
MIT
a license.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
all
man.
this code has been added since V1 or changed since V1.
Oh man, what's that big delete? That's probably the hard-coded HTML. Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we cleared out like
We used
100
to
lines of
hard
code.
code divs and all that stuff.
not anymore.
Smokes. Not anymore. I'm a man now. I'm a big
We got migrations in there.
big boy. Holy smokes, that's wild.
Come a long way.
Yeah, you have like those old cigarette commercials. You've come a long way, baby. Virginia Slims. And
That's
thus, it's
Did
here.
Azure shut us down yet? Nope.
Not
Still
yet,
good.
baby. What are you gonna do? Wild.
Cool, man.
Yeah, let's get the heck off this stream and enjoy our Sunday.
Yeah, let's celebrate.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for coming, y'all. This was a long session, 3 hours on the button. And we did get a lot done today. We finally figured out migrations, and somehow it was way simpler than we ever thought it could be.
Who would have guessed? Just got to read the docs.
This is a lesson for all of us. Thank you, Wolfie, for sticking around. Thank you, Corbob, coming through. Thank you, everyone that came through today. My new subscribers, thank you, especially Wolfie to Electric Boogaloo. But yeah, come check me out tomorrow. I'm going to be building a Internet of Things light up holiday sweater, and it'll be just me. So there'll be music and me in a sweater, and that's it, right, Brandon?
Signing off.
Yeah. Goodbye, y'all.